All right, Long. We are what? We are January 2022.
Yes,
It's been probably almost 2 years since you started the journey, and you're about 2 months away from graduating from
yes,
the level four
mm-hmm.
mini residency program. So,
Yes.
talk to us. Tell us anything you want to tell us. Maybe the younger ones who are on your tracks and they want to hear so that they can kind of emulate what you've done. So, all yours.
Um, yeah, the journey has been 2 years. Okay, it's been rough. Okay, difficult. Okay, but it's well worth it. And I really love this uh, the journey that I've been on because it's opened up a lot of uh, thinkings and then not only the practice uh, of dentistry, but also the the way of living. And in terms of, let me mention about the dentistry first, specifically about like endodontics. And um, yeah, it's just a new horizon when after I started with the root camp and the program helps me a lot in terms of um, normal root canal therapy procedures. And I'm not afraid of before every time I, you know, before the program, I I've been doing I have done a lot of root canals. I'm the guy that rarely refer out.
Mm.
Okay, I didn't refer out a lot. Okay, but still, every time that I touch the tooth, you know, I had a butterfly in my stomach.
Mm.
That means that I'm not confident.
I see.
Yeah, but since attending the level one, that's butterfly is gone. Okay. Okay. The butterfly is not like usually for me. Before the root camp, the butterfly that I mentioned was like broken files.
Mm.
That's the worst fear because that's it just shuts you down and then worry and then you feel bad for the patient, you feel bad for yourself,
You scared,
you're
right?
scared, even I inform the patient in advance,
Mm-hmm.
but still, there will be a financial burden for them for I'm gonna waste their time, health, and for me too,
Right, right.
because if you broke the file, I don't think that you're entitled to charge the patient. So you lose time, you lose everything, so, but after the level one, the program taught me a lot, and I gained so much confidence that and I can do I not only I can speed up the process
Mm-hmm.
predictably, and then but the result come out very nice, and then and that broken files issues, and it's still there if you don't do it right, but uh, but you know when to stop and to prevent it.
Right, right.
Yes, you don't walk in the dark like before I did. It's scary, when you walk in the dark.
It was like a,
Yeah,
Russian roulette, right? You
yeah,
don't know when
exactly. Yeah,
when it's
click,
gonna
click,
go off,
click,
right?
click. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna go out. Yeah. So yeah, and then
So the rate of separation has
oh,
tremendously decreased.
no, for me, before I started the root camp, my rate of separation is very low,
Mm.
but still the fear is
The
still
fear
there. It's
there,
still
yeah,
fear is still there.
I see.
But since the root camp been 2 years, I don't have any. This is it. I'm sorry. Okay, it's zero. Statistically, it's impossible, right? But for my case, it's
Yeah.
zero right now. I haven't got any things like that.
and I'm gonna probably fast forward here,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that you can do an apico
Yeah.
if needed.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When and if it does break,
Oh yeah,
probably
yeah, yeah.
takes that fear to
Oh yeah, yeah,
very
yeah,
low
yeah,
level,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And
Even better, you
that's
know.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
There's
So
a safety net that you
yeah,
can
the
fall
safety
on, and
net. Yeah,
yes,
yeah. You can be more like you come in and treat a root canal with your chest pump.
that's right.
Okay. Yeah.
So you enjoy endo more than before.
Oh
That's
yes, yes,
I see.
yes, yes. You know, and also, you know, I surprised my assistant too because before let's say, you know, before I do the root canal maybe an hour and a half. Now I can cut down to 45 premolar, you know, and endo and anterior is so fast. Even I surprised my assistant. After they set up, they walk out, come back, do, you know, stop in the front and come back. I already walk out and tell them, hey, give a patient a prescription.
Right,
They
right.
say, what? What did you do? I finished. They were like, oh, yeah. So, you know, that's for the regular root canal procedure.
Right, right.
Okay. And then in terms of retreat, you know, yeah, I gained a lot of confidence on that too.
I remember you came out of level 1 in Houston, and like within a week or two, you
Yeah.
sent me your retreat of
Yes.
of an upper molar. I don't remember.
I think lower molar.
Right,
Lower
right.
molar.
And
Yeah.
so I know you were very, very hungry for,
Yes.
you know, additional
Yeah.
skills and so forth.
Yeah. And then apical surgery. Oh man, there's open up the new horizon. You know, and not only that you can, you know, definitely you can save the tooth because usually before the, you know, I take down the, you know, and then I move on to level 2, and then move on to the residency, and then it's just like you now you can think that you can be a tooth saver. Yeah, you can before, you know, and also with the root cam, you will gain a lot of knowledge that, you know, I don't think that they taught you in dental school. Okay, and you'll be confident in diagnosis. My diagnosis before was like all haywire, you know, here and there. I look back, I laugh at myself, you know. I was
We all do.
yeah, I was
We-
like, what did I say? Yeah, so yeah, and for apical, and then you definitely you can be a tooth saver. Okay, before I do implant too, but since I take the you know, take myself, you know, to the residency level, and yeah, it changed the way that I approach the patient, you know, treatment therapy and philosophy, you know. So I think the apical surgery is very demanding. Okay, you gotta put a lot of effort. You have to. It's really a residency program. Yeah, you gotta do a lot of readings and you know, and a lot of learning from Dr. Nguyen. Okay, because we meet up every week. Okay, and you know, every, you know, sometimes 2 hours, sometimes, you know, 3 or 4 hours, and it's strenuous too. It's a very arduous you know, step, but it's well, you know, well with it. And we meet up every week, you know, some, you know, and we learn from each other because in our program I have several colleagues that you know, enjoy the program to you know, at the same time, and we move along and we grow together. Okay, you know, and we learn the mistake, you know, from each other too.
That's right.
So
That's right.
is really helps. You know, you don't learn from the success. You learn from the mistake.
That's right.
You know,
And this
yeah.
is mistakes times 5, right?
Yes.
It's not your own mistakes only.
Yeah.
It's the 4 of you and then my mistakes, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's learning times 5.
Yeah, yeah. You will have failure, but you know, failure is not fatal.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So I mean, like, you know, you have to be, you know, try to, you know, uh, dive in and kids swimming across the sea of knowledge and
Wow.
climb up the mountain. And I think if I can do it, you guys can do it. Being honest, this is my very honest feeling about this program. And I really appreciate that. I thought that there's no such a program like this. And I think this program is very unique. You cannot find it anywhere else. This is truly endo stuff, and it can turn you into an expert.
Right.
Okay. So,
And you were talking about APICOs being very demanding.
yeah.
It is an area that demands very very specific skills, right? It's not like
Exactly.
it's not like something that just happens.
Yeah,
You have to train for it,
As you
but at the same time, you don't need to be born with those skills. It's something one can learn,
Yeah.
but it just takes
It just
hard
takes
work,
time.
you know,
It's
and
just hard
and
work.
smart work.
Yes, it's a lot of work, and then but with in this program you had a cadaver. Okay, you work on a real cadaver. It's not on a plastic tooth. Okay, or plastic model. This is on real human. So the simulation is very close. It's like 98% to the, and then sometimes it's harder because during the cadaver procedure, the retraction is a killing.
Right.
Oh my goodness. It's so tough. It's way harder than real patients
Right.
in some aspect. With the real patient and cadaver, the only difference is like human interaction, of course, and the bleeding.
Right. That's right.
But with the laser, oh my God, it is so helpful.
So you're happy you did include the laser in terms
Oh,
of
yeah,
your
yeah.
armamentarium. And,
Oh yes, those major weapon is like a ballistic missile. It's just so huge.
I remember when you first got your scope.
Yeah.
You were kind of stuck to the scope the whole time, and
Yep. I don't know, because I still remember the first time that, I had the feeling with my loops at dental school.
right.
They gave me the loops in the very first year. My year, I started dental school in '98, but before '98, my class come in, they don't give the students dental loops. They never mention about dental
I see.
loops. And then my year they start, they include the kid dental. But I kept that loops for 2 years. I didn't use it because every time I put it on, it's like, where's my hand? Stuff like that. It's very difficult. And then I was also very curious about the microscope, how does it work. But as a GP, I don't have that kind of luxury to dig into that technology. Until we joined the root camp, starting at level 2.
Right.
And I have a chance to encounter the microscope technology, and oh my God, it's just like, I don't know. I look like, right, Dr. Nguyen. It just kicked in.
Oh, totally.
I didn't have a hard time to adjust. I just go in and just drive, zoom.
There was like a magnet.
Yeah, it's like magnet.
You were just stuck to the scope.
And I can see everything in very microscopic,
That's right.
detail, like a nano world to me. I can see the trabecular bone pattern when I open up the lesion and stuff like that, and I can see. Oh my God, it's just a whole different, world to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no buyer's remorse on the big weapons.
What do you mean remorse?
I mean, some people say, oh,
no,
so many people have bought these larger equipment, and they haven't used it, and they wish they hadn't bought them. So no remorse on your end.
But they don't have the courage to use it.
Oh, I agree.
They have to use it.
Right. Or the guidance, right? Some
Yes.
people really want to learn to use something, and they just don't know who to learn from.
Yeah, because there's always a learning curve for everything.
That's true.
Yes,
That's true.
as long as you pass that curve, you can't go back.
Right.
It's just like, that's why you need to have like the scope, the biolace, and what else do we need? The scope
And
biology
this CBCT.
and the CBTT, yeah,
Yeah.
CBCT, yes, in order to attack apical, so,
Totally. Totally.
totally, and yeah, and then I did some some crazy cases that I challenge myself. Yeah, especially the mandibular incisor.
Yeah. No, I know. Those are hard.
It's so hard,
So you went from an upper incisor, which
Yeah.
is the easiest,
Yeah,
to a
and
lower incisor, which is
yeah.
one of the hardest.
Yes. So I mean, like, but the thing is, like, I went in for the lower, the lower inside. I look at the tube and I say, oh, okay, let's try it. But when I come in, it's 10 times harder than I expected.
Totally,
It
totally.
was like crazy. Yeah.
But see, that's the thing is, unless you do the harder cases, you never get that level of confidence
Exactly.
and satisfaction, right?
Yep. And then with the cadaver, session, and then you can, you attack a variety of, abnormalities in, in the anatomies of the tooth, and then jaws and stuff like that. And it just, you gain so much confidence when you go back and you see on the real life.
Oh, I know.
Yes, it's just right there. Yeah.
So you were talking about looking back and laughing. I'm going to say it differently. When you climb a mountain,
Yeah.
and you look back, meaning you look down, everything else that you walk past earlier is always lower than where you are, right?
Yes. Yes.
So it's not about whether it was a failure or a success.
Yeah.
It's like you're higher than or further than where you were.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
so and then I think that's the hard part is people don't believe they can climb as high.
Yeah.
And for example, behind you there's a poster, and I'm gonna read it. Two roads diverge in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. And that, I mean, that's where many people choose to take the more traveled road.
Yeah.
And I remember after level one, you were happy that you learned more, but then you weren't sure if you were gonna go on this long journey, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And yet you took the less traveled road, and I think if we're talking today and you say, oh, I enjoy endo, I'm not as stressed, it's because you took the harder road, and fortunately or unfortunately, depending on what side you're on, a lot of people will take the more traveled road, so I can only applaud you and the small group of people who've been on the harder road, so bravo. And then there's another poster in the office that says something like, I couldn't do anything until you told me I could, right?
Exactly.
So it does take someone to lift you up and tell you, and it could be colleagues, it could be friends, it could be family, or it could be teachers. And that's what we need to find is people who believe that we can go higher on the mountain, So, I mean, the skills are really nothing when you compare to these things that the mind have to traverse and to overcome. So bravo, man.
Mindset is powerful. When you decided to go, you gotta go all the way. And
I hear you.
You will make it happen.
I hear you.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So like Lao Tzu says, a journey of a 1,000 miles starts with a single step.
Yes.
So I'm gonna make it an endo version.
Yeah.
A journey of 1,000 cases starts with a single canal, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, we've got to get the mind to activate everything else.
Yeah.
Now, tell us more about the life aspect of what you've learned, right? Because we were talking about the skills, right? Now, share with us what is on the other side, and I assume that's the reason why you did the program. It wasn't just for the dentistry. It was for more, because I see our course as not an endo course, but it's pretty much a life course, right?
Yes. Yeah, sure. Yeah, the in this aspect, life experience is, it's also, tell me about like how we should do to yourself in terms of practicing. I mean, like dentistry or one side, but we are dentists. We have a dentistry life and we have a personal life.
Right.
But sometimes we with dentistry life is the dentistry career is very hard. Sometimes it suck up everything, and then you forget about your personal life.
That's right.
But with this root camp, not only that we learn about like dentistry, where we endodontics, but we also learn about how to treasure our time and health. That's a two important thing that that money cannot buy. So because time when it's gone, it's gone. It's finite. It's not unlimited. So and with the but how do we correlate between the practice endo and the real and our life experience, because after taking root camp up to this level, and I can understand that I can transform my life because of the endodontics. Okay, because we can serve the patient better. We always put the patient first, but with our with the root with the apical surgery, laser surgery, and with the precise root canal techniques, okay, we can save time. Okay, and we can save time for the patient. Okay, which means that we can do things more efficiency. Okay, precise, predictable, but and then
And better income, right?
And then improve health for the patient. We reduce the treatment time, which means less burden on us, less burden on the patient,
Less stress for
less
both.
stress for both, and then get more money.
Yeah.
Okay. What do that's the best combination. Less time, more money, and then we can improve the quality of life on our personal life aspect.
But one thing people
Yeah.
I think miss is they think it just takes working harder to make more money.
Yeah.
And it's true. People who work harder will
Yeah.
make more money, but then that's to the expense of the time and the health, right? So I think it just has to be beyond that, and it takes to do things.
We need we need to find a better formula.
That's
But
right.
I think,
That's right.
I think the root camp can give you the better formula.
And it's simple.
Yeah.
I think it all comes down to if you can do things that very few can do, then your pay will be higher, right? And I think you mentioned if you can do things like saving the tooth, the patient's health being number one, then it's very few are focused on that. And and I think we know the saying, right? Is like what is it? You don't live to work, you work to live, right?
Exactly.
But unfortunately, even though we know it, we do the opposite. Is we
For sure,
we live
for
to
sure.
work,
Yeah, we got yes.
So you have seen a clear impact on your
Oh yes.
family life
Yes,
versus
I
your
got
work
more,
life.
Yeah, I got more time for my family, and then and I'm more emphasized on endo.
Right.
As you recommended, we should have a endo island, and it just organize the whole thing in terms of practicing dentistry and live a better life and quality.
Working smarter, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
work
There's
smarter.
working hard, which we
Yeah.
cannot avoid.
Yeah.
But then what you can add is working smarter,
Yeah.
right? And
Yep. Mhm.
yeah,
Yes.
man. I mean, as your coach, this is what keeps me going. Is I feel like we're making an impact, right?
Yes.
And then that's what true teachers do is they just want their students to succeed and eventually go past them, right? So this makes my day, and I've seen you grow, and I knew you were growing, but I never had a chance to really sit down and have a conversation like this. So again, the same Lao Tzu says, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yes.
When the student is really ready, this the teacher will disappear,
Yes.
which is
Right.
so beautiful, right? It's like,
Yes,
man,
exactly.
he's ready to go on
Yes.
higher,
Yes.
and he needs another teacher, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, bravo. Maybe last words, anything. Last words on anything. Your closing statement.
I just love the boot camp, man. I mean, it just, it changed my life. Yeah, it's changed the way I think, and that's very important. Okay, the mindset is very important.
Oh, it's very important for most of us
Yes.
who can see it.
Yes.
I remember when I first met you, you were not as relaxed. You were not as happy, and I mean, you were negative or depressed or anything.
Yeah.
But now you're like full of energy and full of life, you know. And
Yes.
yeah,
That's it.
bravo, man.
Way to go.
Way to go.
Way to go.